Welcome back to the Curious Snail. Today we'll be taking a look at some of the strangest last requests of prisoners on death row. Before we get started, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Number 5. Gerald Lee Mitchell. Kicking off our list is the story of Gerald Lee Mitchell. Mitchell took a man's life during a drug deal gone wrong, and he took his second victim during an argument over a necklace. He was just 14 years old when he was sentenced to death row, but he didn't meet his fate until 18 years later. When Mitchell was asked what he'd like for his last meal, he requested a bag of Jolly Rancher candy. While this one isn't as strange as some of the others on this list, it's still pretty weird for someone to request a bag of candy for the last meal ever, in our opinion at least. Number 4. Lawrence Russell Brewer. Coming in at number 4 is the story of Lawrence Russell Brewer. Brewer was both a convicted murderer and white supremacist who had an idea to spit in the face of the justice system. For his final meal, he requested quite the feast. His meal included 2 fried chicken steaks with gravy and onion, a triple bacon cheeseburger, a cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, a bowl of okra, a pound of barbecued meat with half a loaf of white bread, peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, a pint of Bluebell ice cream, and finally, 3 root beers. Despite ordering this mountain of food, Brewer refused to even take a bite, claiming that he wasn't hungry. A senator of Texas at the time was so fed up with this little stunt that he banned the last meal request in the state of Texas. Number 3. Eileen, warnus. Coming in at number 3 is the story of Eileen Warnus, known as America's first female serial killer. Eileen's strange vibes come less from what she ordered and more from what she said afterwards. No food at all, Eileen simply wanted 1 cup of black coffee. While I can't imagine drinking bland coffee as the last thing you want before death, the weirdest part of this story is what she said afterward. "I'd just like to say I'm sailing with the rock, and I'll be back like Independence Day with Jesus, June 6th. She has obviously not returned since this comment, but it definitely sends chills down my coffee-loving spine. Number 2. Ronnie Lee Gardner. Coming in second place is the story of Ronnie Lee Gardner. Charged with robbery, burglary, escape, murder, and capital murder, Ronnie wasn't exactly the best of people. He did have an amazing idea for prolonging his time on Earth though, with his last strange request. Ronnie asked for lobster, steak, pie, and, most importantly, to be able to enjoy his meal while watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy. While it's definitely a strange last request, asking to watch one of the longest sets of movie you can think of before your execution is a pretty good idea. Number 1. James Edward Smith. Finishing off our list in the number 1 spot is the story of convicted murderer James Edward Smith. Before his execution, James requested that his last meal be dirt. Yeah, dirt. I'm not sure what's weirder, the idea of eating dirt, or what he actually intended to do with it, which was to perform a voodoo ritual. The guards had to deny his request as dirt is not an approved food for obvious reasons. Instead, James had to settle for yogurt. Our only questions are, how is yogurt the closest substitute to dirt, and can you perform voodoo rituals with it? This concludes today's video on the strangest requests of prisoners on death row. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.